The Free Enterprise Society was formed over 30 years ago by a group of individuals who were very concerned about the simultaneous expansion of bureaucracy, erosion of individual rights, and plunder of private wealth by slick government debt and taxing schemes. Their mission is to promote free enterprise worldwide and restore lost liberties and freedoms in America under the organic national constitution of the Republic of the United States of America. To further their goals, the Free Enterprise Society arranges training and seminars to educate the people across the country. Steve Hempfling, Director of Free Enterprise Society and your host. Born in Ohio and raised on a farm, Steve Hempfling learned about individual rights and the U.S. Constitution from his father, who was active at preserving freedom. His father was in a coalition trying to stop unbacked paper currency from being issued during the John F. Kennedy presidency. Steve Hempfling has a degree in electronic engineering and has worked at Texas Instruments and in the Silicon Valley located in California. In 1985, he helped found Free Enterprise Society along with Verl Speer and George Hill. He put his money where his mouth was and challenged the IRS to prove it had a law to require Americans to file income tax returns. That was 27 years ago. Today, Steve Hempfling is the current director of Free Enterprise Society. For more information, visit www.welcome.freeenterprisesociety.com. And the IRS, well, they still have not proven that anyone is required to file and pay an income tax. Steve will be speaking on the income tax problem. Steve Hempfling will adeptly give a comprehensive seminar on the basics of income tax problems and its relation to the Constitution. He will also cover some current activities.
Okay. The next speaker we're going to bring with you today has been involved in the freedom movement for close to 30 years in the Patriot Freedom Movement. And although his background was in computers, when he found out that there's something wrong going on with our country, the government not following the Constitution, he got involved in a very serious way. And he created and co-founded the oldest patriot tax honesty freedom group in America in existence. And that's a big feat. And one of the great things this organization has done is bring these kind of great kind of conferences with great speakers to America. So please help me give me a warm-handed welcome to the co-founder and the director of the Free Enterprise Society, Mr. Steve Hempfling.
Thanks, Benjamin. Well, I was going to talk about something, and I threw it all out last night. Well, Free Enterprise Society has been around a long time, and the government does not really like us. Maybe some of you, for those that know us, know we don't really like the IRS. Anybody heard of that IRS? Well, anybody heard of the Justice Department? They don't like us. They don't like Free Enterprise Society. We'll talk about that a little bit. I wanted to play something for you. I was going to do this earlier, but I'll do it right now for you if this thing's working. It's something that moves me every time I hear it.
It is our song as an American. Do you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots. And he said, that's the entire British war fleet. He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He said, it's predominantly not a military fort. He said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately. And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule. Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen. And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no release. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag? Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling. Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb. And Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down. The Admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees. The Admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down. He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that. But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage see by the dawn's early light.
That's history.
Well, I enjoy listening to that because it makes me really think about, well, who would do that? We have really strong people to make this country. And there's people up in Washington just throwing it away. And anyway, it's really a pleasure to put these on, and it's really a pleasure to meet you guys. And the people that I meet are always so great. I mean, some of you fight traffic tickets, some of you fight the city council, and you tell me the stories about it. And I just love hearing those stories because you can tell you're very passionate about it. Doesn't matter what it is. Hey, I didn't pay my dog license. They're going for an hour. Whatever it is, it's great that people stand up. Who needs a dog license? And they want to license your house now. Do you hear that? And the cap and trade bill, if they ever get that passed. And permits for your house. Who needs those? If it's your house, why do you need permission? See, there's all kinds of things going on that we have to talk about. It's really a mindset. It's a law in our own mind. There was a bear that was in captivity once. I remember they released it. They took it out somewhere, and because it was in the cage, it just walked back and forth in this 15-foot cage. That's all it did for years. And they finally released it. And you know what they did in the wild? They walked back and forth 15 feet and just stayed right there. A lot of Americans are like that today. They're afraid to speak out. They're afraid to talk about these things. So, well, of course, we know about the Constitution. Richard covered that very well. And he's, of course, going to be back tomorrow. The definition of treason. Some of the people in government really make me angry when I go to Washington, D.C. and see all those great statues and all the encryptions in their things. And it's really very moving. If you haven't been there, it's really a treat. But now, the people that are in office in that area have no respect for those things. They don't go out there. They obviously don't read the things that are in their own backyard. But I would say the offensive action of overthrowing one's own government, the violation of allegiance to one's sovereignty or one's state, the betrayal of a trust or confidence, breach of faith or treachery. Is this going on in Washington, D.C.? It is. Yeah, somebody sent me a letter. It was a group that's called Patriot Coaching, which I hope to bring out here sometime. Patriot Coaches, there are actually a couple of psychiatrists. Doesn't sound too interesting, but what they do is teach you how to talk and control the conversation, because the other side, the liberals, the socialists, whatever you call them, are very well trained, and when you try to talk about something logical or something that makes sense, something that is really irrefutable, they come back with something really, really, really good, like, oh, you're racist. They just start throwing names at you. Oh, you're greedy. Oh, you're this, or you're that, whatever it is. And then you're on the defensive. Well, I am not. And what these guys teach you is how to not get on the defensive, because then you're losing. And it should be a very important class. But anyway, they sent me 12 things. I thought we could kind of goof around with this. And you guys might come up with some more ideas. You know, they had the Contract for America in 1994. Now they made a new one that they didn't do much with the contract in 94. That probably won't do much with this one necessarily. But I'm really excited about Richard Mack's work and Representative Shea. I think you're really going to love what he has to say, because the states, if they stand up and take their power back, that leaves what? So the federal government has 17 powers listed in the Constitution, right? Now, if the states stand up for the power that's in here, guess what happens to the income tax? It goes away. A lot of all the federal agencies that push their weight around in the state of Washington or other states will go away. But now there's still 17 powers the federal government is supposed to do. What are we going to do about that? They don't do those things either, do they? Except they do remember borrowing money. That's one of their powers. Anyway, these guys sent me out some things. I don't necessarily agree with all of it, but we talk about term limits. And now in California we have term limits where they can keep changing offices, so it wasn't very well implemented. You can be a senator, and then you can be a assemblyman, and then you can be governor, and then you can be a judge, and then you can be this. And you continue to get additional retirements added on in addition. So they're suggesting 12 years only in the federal government, 2 6-year terms, or 2 year House terms, or a total of 12 years, well, however it works out. let's take number one. Is that good or bad? Thumbs up, thumbs down, just, all right. Good. Some people don't like that. That's not really a good way to keep people honest, but I'm not sure that this is just part of it, so let's go on. 2, no tenure, no pension. Congressman collects a salary while in office, receives absolutely zippo when he's out.
That's right.
Thumbs up, thumbs down? All right. So I agree with that. Congress, past, present, and future, participates in Social Security, and all funds from the Congressional Retirement Fund goes into Social Security immediately, and Congress will participate with the people, whatever program that is. Thumbs up or thumbs down? I don't totally agree with Social Security, but they should be in it if it's going to be forced on us. Although Social Security is one of those things that probably will come under not under the 17 powers that Matt Shea will have something to say about when the state takes back their power. Number 4, Congress can purchase their own retirement plan just as all Americans did. Yes. Thumbs up, thumbs down? Feel free to modify these two or email me about that. I think this might make a nice series of articles and discussion. Congress will no longer vote themselves a pay raise. In the last 2 years, they have given themselves another $10,000. I don't know if you're aware of that. Pretty much across the board. Because they're important. Now, you have to give them credit. They're very important. Especially that wonderful woman from California.
Yeah, right.
What is her name? Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. Everybody loves her. She's deserving of more. So they're suggesting pay raise will rise by lower CPI. This is a price index, and then or 3%. I think that is subject to possible change. I think Texas. I really like Texas. I think the legislators get $7,500 a year for serving. That's a good number. Well, they want to do it. I mean, that's the thing. Congress loses their current health care system, participates in the same health care system as all other Americans. Amen. Most of you are aware that when they pass this health care system, they're not in it. And their families are not in it, and they're never in it forever. I mean, come on. And Congress must equally abide by all laws they impose on Americans. Oh, yeah. Thumbs up, thumbs down? All contracts passed or present with Congressmen are void effective 1/1/2011. Now, this would affect their retirements. All the retirements they've got, past, present, future, they're out. We didn't make that agreement, or we didn't make that contract. That's something they did for themselves. For themselves, not for the people, not for the country, not for the government. Thumbs up, thumbs down on that one? Oh, all right. You guys are easy. So serving in Congress is an honor, at least it was supposed to be, not a career. We got some new Republicans in the Tea Party and other parties really getting some good people in here, but the echelon, the topper, the people running the parties are just as corrupt as on either side. From watching, they've got to go. It is just the so-called Beltway is just it's filth in as far as people are concerned. It seems to be. The founding fathers envisioned citizen legislation. You legislate like you do in the States, and then you come back and you go to work. Now, California, it really doesn't follow that too well either, does it? They pay our legislators too well, and they don't they haven't really earned it. And they get pretty good retirements here, and most states don't have that. What time is it? All right. Well, I'm going to kind of wrap up. But Free Enterprise Society, we are the sponsor of this event. We do have programs to assist you in dealing with the IRS. But we do want to get rid of the IRS. Now, the Justice Department brought a case against me in 2005. I was going to talk about that some, but basically we fought them pretty well. It got down to where they did get an injunction against us, but not getting nearly what the government wanted. The government wanted the membership list. They wanted this. They wanted all kinds of things, and what they banned was 4 books that I cannot sell. Now, this is still a violation of the First Amendment. These books that they banned from me selling, stop me from selling, are not anything I've even written. Most of it is written by Congress or the courts. I mean, it's just compilations of research. It's just idiotic what they're doing. And And then we went to the Nice Circus Court of Appeals with that for a couple of years, and they finally come back and say, "Oh, Mr. Hempfling, we don't feel your First Amendment was violated." Whatever. But I still can't sell those 4 things. But other than that, they really haven't affected the organization all that much. Now, because time is short, and I'm not going to talk about all these things today, I do have a free DVD that's on the front table that does a couple things. It goes through my normal income tax problem segment, and it goes through all our memberships that we have. We have a legal defense fund, and everything can assist you with fighting the IRS. If you're a non-filer, we specialize in that. And also on here is Tommy Cryer going through his plan in detail, and going through his case, and going through his notorious notebook. This is like 6 hours on here. It's free on the outside table. Tommy Cryer and Steve Hempfling on here. So instead of taking a bunch of time right now, I'm going to give that to you. If you're watching this on video, you're going to have to call, but I'll send this out basically for whatever the shipping is, probably $1. If you want this and you're watching it on the computer now or later on DVD, we'll go ahead and send this to you before the asking for a buck, probably. Okay, where are we at now? But I'm gonna wrap it up right there because we're short on time. We're going to go to the exhibitor forum. I don't want to wear you out and have you all go to sleep here. Exhibitors forum. We got 3 exhibitors here that that are not speakers. They're going to talk a few minutes right now, and then we're going to have a break. And after that, we come back with Janine Nightingale, which you're going to want to not miss, from the Constitution Party. Yes.
What were the 4 books?
The 4 books. Yeah. We have a lien and levy package, how to answer when the IRS sends a lien, how to answer that and how to respond to it. And most of it's based on their own publications. We have one on avoiding the W-4, stopping the withholding of your paycheck without using the W-4 form. We have a 16th Amendment reliance package talking about the 16th Amendment being not part of the Constitution. And there's a Reliance 2000 program, which is a 4-step program, which is part of that was already in the ban. What's interesting about that, what I'm probably going to do is put my case up on the website. Now, what's interesting about all the things that were banned, the government put those in, every page of them in as exhibits in my case. So by making my case file available, you can have all that material that now I can't sell for free from the government. So.
We can donate.
It saves the printing costs.
It saves a lot of printing costs. Yes, up on paper, not public record. So they just can't win. Anyway, okay.
Can't shoot straight.
Where's Don at? Don Grundman. Come on up.
But you tell them who you are and everything.
Hello, I'm Don Grundman. I'm a doctor of chiropractic, and I'm chairman of the American Independent Party here in California. And its sister organization, the Constitution Party, we're phasing the American Independent Party into the Constitution Party, and so we're the only party that's going to support everything that's done here, everything you've said. We totally support it, absolutely, with no qualifications. The American Independent Party is the California branch of the National Constitution Party. In the previous presidential election, Chuck Baldwin was our presidential candidate.
Yeah.
So we invite you to get materials on our party while you're here, and I want to mention something very important for you to consider. And you're always welcome to call me, contact me anytime regarding this. But everything that you hear today, broad range of topics. As you can see, as has been mentioned, the media is definitely not on our side. And so it's a question of, as you also heard, we reach out to our friends, neighbors, and we spread the word. There's one thing I would like you to consider in the months ahead, that I've ran for office numerous times. I was in the previous running for Senate. This time I lost in the primary, but my intention is to run for U.S. Senate again in 2012 against Dianne Feinstein and represent our Constitution Party. But I ask you to consider yourself as a candidate for office for whatever you might feel appropriate, assembly or local school board in whatever manifestation, because if even if you consider yourself that you think, oh, I can never be a candidate, just getting out and spreading the word as best you can to the best of your ability is something which would not be there if you didn't take that stand. And so it's something that we can all do to bypass the media. We can use the public forum of these candidacies that we can have across the whole spectrum to reach out to people and spread the word. And so I urge you to give this a great consideration, because I guarantee you that you're stepping out and speaking about so many different things. You can have a great impact, a multiplied impact, as you've heard the other speakers mention, far beyond yourself. And this can be a wonderful thing for the culmination of we're reaching for a critical mass in everything we're doing here. We're trying to overcome the media, heavy opposition all over the place, but this can be done. It is a doable thing, but we have to each do our part. Even if you consider, well, I'm just going to do a small thing, I can't do much. Even that small thing is great in itself. And I guarantee, if nothing else, have fun while you're doing it. You can have a fantastic amount of enjoyment in your campaign to spread the word to the citizens. So please contact me regarding that. And as one last thing I want to mention is that as a doctor of chiropractic, I'll treat as many people as I can. No charge. I have a couple of things over there which I use for if you would like the acupuncture energy analysis for your body functions to be analyzed, we can do that, or give you a detox over there, which I described. So I'll just treat as many people as I can. But please give consideration to being a candidate, because this is extremely important. I've heard many people who can imagine that, oh, I can never do that. But it's a wonderful experience, and I'm sure once you do it, you'll be glad that you did. Thank you.
I'm the author of this book on money that's sitting over there. Briefly, I'm an ex-technology guy, ex-Intel, computer kind of guy, electrical engineer, MBA. And I was Ross Perot's California State Chair. I got up off the couch about 20 years ago. And in the intervening time, I've turned off the TV for the most part and decided to start reading and educating myself, because I don't think I was getting the truth. Unfortunately, I was right. And after having peeled back layer after layer of this onion and getting down to the core and understanding probably 20 different issues in sufficient detail to write a book about them, the question really comes, the same question that Tom Pryor has faced, is how do you now get a handle around this? And we're not doing a very good job. We have too many people taking too many issues. The reality is there's certain foundational issues that must be addressed, and we're going to have to give up on some other things in the meantime. If you go for the core, we'll win. If you try, I think he used the analysis of an octopus. If you try and chase the tentacles, we'll lose. The core is basically, let's talk about this, is an international banking family. Their power comes from the Federal Reserve here in the United States and 160 central banks around the world. And it is the same system that allows us to be put into such a massive debt and allow the government to operate the way it does. I would disagree with Tommy in one respect. You cannot do these sequentially. We have to address about 3 or 4 issues at one time. You can't just take on the tax issue first and hope that's going to then lead to the Fed. Even if we took away federal income tax, they can continue to fund the federal government basically through the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve must be ended. In order to do that, we have to understand it. We have to understand who's behind it. We have to understand how it's put together. And then you do understand that, have an obligation to now get 10 more people to understand that. So towards that end, I've read most of the books that have been written on the subject. I found them, for me, a little bit lacking in certain regards, so I try to fill the gap. One of those, I thought they were too complicated, and they get too much into conspiracy theory. We are at a point now where there's sufficient people who understand the issue, but we now have to face the reality that what we're doing now is trying to change public opinion. And the public is not prepared to sit there and spend all the time talking about Jekyll Island and conspiracy theories. We must approach the topic in a different way. We have to show them how the system works in very simplistic terms, illustrated terms, show them how it hits them in the wallet, and show them what it's doing to our country. And that's what I attempt to do in the book. In addition to that, you can go on YouTube. I have published a seminar on YouTube. It's called Why We Are in So Much Debt. I encourage you to watch it. And I'm going to be giving a free seminar and handing out in Brentwood on Tuesday night. If you'd like to come, it's at 6 o'clock. That's the Brentwood East, I guess they call themselves the Brentwood Tea Party. And I'll be doing that. I hope you come on and take a little time and drop on over. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Jan Freilake. I'm chair of the Sacramento JBS Events Committee, and first I'd like to thank Steve Hempfling for putting this wonderful program on. Steve, I know it's a job because I do that for the John Birch Society, so I know what an effort it is. Thank you, and I thank you all, you wonderful speakers, and those that are going to speak, because I know your dedication, and we really appreciate that. My husband and I founded the John Birch Society in 1995. Had a little video by John McManus changing our military over to the United Nations called Changing Command. Our 15-year-old son was with us. He went to the summer camp in May, and we joined right when he came back, because he came back a changed young man singing Amazing Grace. And this is a child of the public schools with all the sex, alcohol, and so forth. So we joined the John Birch Society. Those of you who don't know about it, go to jbs.org and go to About the John Birch Society. You will learn who the founder, Robert Welch, was. He was basically a genius. Genius IQ, read all the Rid Path at age 6, mastered algebra at age 6, graduated from high school at age 12, and went to college at age 12, and then into the Annapolis Academy. So a brilliant man, the Welsh sugar daddies, and he took his retirement money and his time, and he spent it to build a lot of what you're seeing today. He gave his retirement years and all of his money to save freedom. And the inspiration is Captain John Birch. He was actually killed by the Communist Chinese 10 days after World War II ended, and our government hushed it up. So please go to jbs.org to learn about that. Please stop by our table. We have a free packet of information for you. You will receive a free New American magazine, 2 DVDs, Overview of America, which is being shown all over America. It's a 30-minute public access. It's phenomenal. And we have a project to put it in all the public schools, because now they're required by law, federal law, to teach the Constitution on Constitution Day. So many of you probably already saw an email from me to say do that. And a case for repealing NAFTA is excellent, about really, really detailing NAFTA and why we need to get rid of it. That's in your packet. You'll receive a flyer. Republic, together we can say the Republic. This is Ron Paul and Robert Welch and Congressman Ron Paul together. They definitely have the same ideals, and Ron Paul, by the way, is on the cover of a 1976 Review of the News, which is a predecessor to the New American Magazine, and he got a lot of his training from the John Birch Society, and I'm sure he was a member and probably still is. So he was here in this room in 2005 for one of our anniversary celebrations. We do have a 52nd anniversary celebration coming up. That's in your packet. There's extras on the table and the press release that tells more in depth about the speakers. What else do you have? You have reprints of the New American Magazine, which is Republics and Democracies. This is wonderful. It's our foundational. That's the difference between a republic and a democracy, and that's why our founding fathers wanted a republic. And we have Lou Dobbs, Abolishing the USA, is a reprint from the New American Magazine. That's in your packet. We have lessons of the Weimar Republic in your packet, and you will receive a New American Magazine. Now, I hope you don't really all throw all the bumps out, because I'd like to see Ron Paul stay and a few others that are like him, and we're starting to get more and more. And this New American Magazine is actually tipping the ballots in November, and the New American Magazine is dedicated to showing you some of the new upcoming people and their profiles and how we want to get them in, like our dear Shannon over there. So anyway, those are in the packets, and we have other books and material for you to purchase. Today we have membership applications. We have a pamphlet for $2, Restoring the Rights of the States and the People. And if you have never read The Politician, it's a must-read. This man, Robert Welch, who in 1958 launched this wonderful organization, laid it all out for you. And it's a treatise. This is a book compiled of letters that he sent to his compatriots all throughout the nation, and telling them about the problems and pulling them together and then launching the society. But this is the letters that he wrote them, and he lays it out about the media. He lays it out about the Protestant seminaries and how they're being taken over. He lays out the education. This is where it started. Robert Welch built an organization to win. He built an organization, and we've got chapters. We've got a publication in the American Magazine. See all these X's over here? To win the freedom fight and to truly preserve and restore the Constitution, which is the John Birch Society's goal. Here's all the things we have. So I welcome you to stop over to the table. We actually have more of these as well over there. So thank you for your time. I appreciate all that all of you do. Thank you so much.
Richardson with the Vacaville Community Access Channel, Channel 27 in Vacaville. You can pick it up on Comcast. Or we've also expanded into AT&T now, covering a good portion of the northern part of the state of California. What we're offering you is for free over there under that first big light on the wall there is a bunch of DVDs. You can pick up whatever we have there, and they're free. Titles include End of Fed, The Truth Behind the Income Tax, Architects and Engineers for Truth, Richard Gage, about the 9/11 massacre, Monopoly Man, America's Secret Empire by John Perkins, excellent, and Michael Badner's Constitution classes there as well, and they're all for free. We're now covering, as I said, Vallejo through their local access program, and most of Northern California, trying to educate people, along with other community programs. And the last thing is, this is a book I just discovered yesterday. It's a local author, Michael Kirchubel, and the name of it is Vile Acts of Evil. Subtitle is Banking in America. The list price on this is $25. I'll let it go for $20. I only have about 5 or 6 of them. But do come over and take a look and pick up the DVDs and educate the other people out there. That's our job. Spread the word. Thank you.